Hello and welcome to Gaia GPS. This is where we come and pull cards for the Astro week ahead. I am Mimi and I'm here with Nicole Oman.
Hello.
And we are going to get started with the moon shifting into Pisces. So the moon is shifting into Pisces on Wednesday. If you are interested in what we said about the Aquarius moon that we did in last week, so you can watch that. For this moon in Pisces is helping us build up into the full moon in Aries happening on Wednesday. I've got some really interesting cards. I'm actually going to start. You're right, Nikki. I was like looking at these cards before. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to start with. I got it. We'll see where it goes. I'm going to start with my cards, the Lovers and the Maturity card. And from, I don't even know what this deck is, the Angel Prayers deck, I've got this Balance card. And that's what I'm getting. You know, so the moon's going to be in Pisces, but we're still working through this Libra energy. And, you know, building into this Libra energy is going to be really important as we build into this full moon in Aries, which is going to be pulling opposite that energy in Libra. So this came up in my horoscope actually for tomorrow actually as well. The energy of meeting the masculine and the feminine within you, meeting heaven and earth within you, and coming into that balance, coming into that wholeness within yourself. Now I've also got the Innocence card, the Ripeness card, and the Conditioning card. And the Conditioning card is the one I'm really looking at. And for many of us, that's where we're stopping ourselves from completely coming into this energy of the lovers within ourselves, the masculine, feminine within ourselves, heaven and earth within ourselves, that balance and that maturity energy of the unit within ourselves. So where are you conditioned? And this may be actually, you know, past life stuff. This Pisces energy brings up past life stuff. I have been processing it for sure within myself lately. So where is this conditioning holding you back? Where are you not showing up? Where are you not showing up in your feminine? Where are you not showing up in your masculine? Where are you not showing up with your innocence? I recognize this within myself, that a lot of times I'm like, you know, if I'm innocent, then the world's going to think that I'm weak. The world's not going to know that I can handle myself. The world's going to think that they can run all over me. And to me, innocent, that's that conditioning. That's what we've been taught. We've been taught like you can't maintain that fun. You can't maintain that play, and that's leaving out a really important part of ourselves as we come into this union, into this balance within ourselves. So where's that conditioning holding you back? And where can you grow in that innocence? And that really is the Innocence card. That's the Sun card. It's like the inner child. It's trusting the universe, knowing that the universe has got your back. And along with these cards, I've got the Odin card, the Psychic Insight. It says your third eye is open, see the truth for what it is, and follow your intuition. But like, this is, to me, this is like God. He's like, sorry, God, I don't think that God's a male. So, you know, I think God, Goddess is like the universe, one, everything. But this is like the masculine aspect of God, who's like, I've got your back. And we have that masculine energy of God within us. I spoke about that in the horoscope, you know, bringing forward that energy, loving that within yourself so that you can trust yourself to keep going, to bring forth your innocence. I actually think the world needs that innocence, that play, that level of open-hearted love right now. Because, you know, there's so much crazy going on, and God only knows with this this full moon coming. So come into balance and make sure that part of your balance isn't just all mature, adulting, I'm doing all the things I've got to do, but it's also on my to-do list, to allow list is go outside, play, run, laugh, talk with the friends who make you feel alive again. Make sure that's part of your integration. The creativity that comes along with the Pisces energy, that's going to be really, really important through this week because, you know, building to this Aries moon is going to be kind of intense, I think. So that's what I'm getting. Nicole?
Yeah, I have some interesting cards too. So there's definitely a theme, and I'm just trying to see how to word this correctly. So what I'm getting for the Pisces the Pisces moon on Wednesday is I'm getting some shadow work. So this is doing your own shadow work. There is something that's behind the scenes that needs to be looked at, something around self-judgment. And a really good way to know what this particular issue for you personally is it's really good to look what or who is triggering you and why they're triggering you. So if somebody's being lazy and they're triggering you, you have to look at either A, laziness, or the other side of the coin, where you're pushing too hard or you're trying too hard, and how to pull that back and find balance. There's something around finding the other side of the coin. So I mean, that's totally Pisces too, the two fish, right? And when the two fish are in balance, things are harmonious. But when if you can only accept the good stuff and you can't accept the bad stuff, then you're still in this like everything is fine mask when it's not. But you have to own both the pleasant mask and then the shadow mask. And both of them are masks. So they can be integrated, right? Harmony right here. The white and the dark, the light and the dark need to be integrated together. I think that's also the Lover's card of what Mimi was talking about. So you have fullness, wholeness, totality. So because you can't have one side of the coin without the other. And I like what Debbie Ford talks about in the dark side of the light chasers. It's like you have to look at the things that you deem or judge in a negative light, and you have to see how it's serving you. You also have to see the things that you think are good for you and how they're not serving you, so you can find this balance and then have a new perspective of yourself. I have the consciousness card in reverse, meaning you need a perspective shift on yourself. So the way to get rid of that self-criticism or self-judgment, or if you're doing it on the other side of the coin where you're criticizing or judging other people, you have to see where you either A, need to own what they're doing or own your other side of the coin. I hope that makes sense. Because then you can finally see through the beyond illusion. So if people are triggering you, it's something going on here. And I have the mind card as well. So it's that mind wants to take it over and make everything a lot more complicated than it is. And this is like simplify. Just break it down into two, really. Or, you know, the light side and the dark side, and draw yin yang. Do some art to help you kind of, you know, I'm getting this vision of like doing a yin yang, of like all the things that you judge on people, put it in the dark part of the yin yang and write everything. And then I want you to write what the other side of the coin would be on the light side. And then you just bring them together. And you can find that harmony and balance right in the middle. Simplify. That's what I got.
All right, that's really good. So next, and that's going to be really important, next is we build into the full moon. So we have the moon shifting into Aries on Friday. The full moon is on Saturday or Sunday for some people. But we're going to just work with the moon moving into Aries next. And moon in Aries, I've got the fighting card, and I've got the participation card along with the fighting card. And I've also got the creator card. So what I'm getting is like, you've got to recognize, and this kind of goes with, you know, what we've been saying, you've got to recognize in yourself, where are you fighting with yourself? Where are you fighting with others? And where is that reflecting in the world? Because wow, the world right now. How are you participating? How are you creating this in your life, in the lives around you? We've all got this. And you know, this fighting card, this is like, I think this is the Knight of Swords. So it's like, you know, ready with your sword to go in and like pierce the untruths and destroy what is wrong and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying that that's bad or good. I'm not bringing judgment to it. Just recognize where your fighting energy is igniting in this. How are you participating in this energy that's going along right now? This may require, I've got the isolation card, some alone time, just recognize where your energy is. Where are you at energetically? How do you want to be energetically? Are you showing up in that form. What I love is like, this is how I think we all probably ideally want to be. Got the Zorba the Buddha card, the abundance card, where he's like, I'm chill, I'm here up in the Himalayas and I'm eating my grapes and I got my incense going and I'm enjoying myself on this human body and I'm connected to spirit. You know, like that's where I think a lot of us that are watching this would really like to be. And yet we're still involved in this fight. And I think a lot of this is not even, it's not so much about the fight that's going on out there. Where are you fighting yourself? Where are you holding back from, you know, the integration, like we just said with the other Pisces cards? Where are you holding back from integrating who you are? Where are you fighting yourself? Where are you like, that's not good. I hate that part of myself. I judge that part of myself. Because here I have from the angel prayer cards, I've got the love and accept yourself. Thank you, angels, for lovingly guiding me to self-acceptance. We're here to love and appreciate who we are, but we've been taught to fight off those parts of ourselves. What would happen if you changed your way of looking at that, working with that? And I think it's going to be really major to look at through this full moon that we're building into and, you know, beyond, because Aries, Mars, God of War, it's bringing it up and it's connecting with Uranus. So this energy is going to have the moon, our emotions, like in this realm of Aries, connecting with Uranus. So, you know, that can be intense. It can be really intense. That can, you know, bring out parts of ourselves that we don't necessarily let people see. So if you can recognize, hey, this is in me, this fight is in me, and it's not about anything out there. This is about what's going on in here. Then you'll be prepared as this energy, you know, comes online more and more. And I have the Serapis Bay card with this Ascension. It says, move into your true self, rise above your darkness. The light is there. But I really like Nicole's advice with the yin and yang sign, like writing out, be aware of those shadows, because this moon in Aries connecting to Uranus, especially as it's building to it, and all the squares that are going to come up in the cardinal signs may have you really ready to fight the world, ready to fight yourself, ready to take it out. Love and accept yourself. Acknowledge those parts so that you can, I don't know, keep moving into the light, keep moving into that Zorba the Buddha card, my favorite. Nicole?
Well, you know, I really like that, because in the times that are going on right now, and especially here in the U.S., my Captain America shirt, yeah. As what's going on in the U.S. with the elections, it's really easy to put your defenses up and start battling each other based off of what you believe or what you don't believe. I mean, what was it? The other morning, I'm sitting in bed and I had this whole vision of a campaign, and I was like, I am not taking that on. I am not into politics. I'm not doing that. It was called, and it came up, and I saw the whole thing so if you want to take it, it's called the Neither campaign, where I'm like, I don't want to get into that. So, but it's way easy. It's way easy to get into that, like, that paradigm of like really fighting in that separation. But if we can take a step back and see if we can ride that line, that edge, and see the both sides of the world, and it's not fence riding, it's truth. There's a core truth right in the middle of it all that means we need to break free of the BS of this or this and find out how it can work together and find a certain compromise. So so now that tangent's done. So my cards are saying that with this moon in Aries, as it shifts out of that water sign, goes into the fire sign, I think you might start having some of a hard time with going with the flow, and going with what's going on in the world, or what's going on in your life. And so what is happening is you're not being able to hear your inner voice correctly. And as that happens, you might get really frustrated. Here we go with the black and white, the right and wrong, good or bad. And things are getting really blurry right now, especially like in the news. Everybody has a point of view, but who's the villain? They're both villains. They're all villains. Who's the hero? We don't know. Captain America. He's the hero, you think. But we don't have that. We don't have a Captain America who's all good right now. So as you get to this, like, I don't know what's right and wrong anymore. For me, for my life, for the world, I don't even know what I believe in. What's going to happen, believe it or not, I get the assistance card. So maybe on this, Friday, you might come across Zorba the Buddha, which I have as well. But I actually think this is a physical male person. So you might have a guy in your life that comes in and explains to you something, or somebody who actually physically comes and helps you, or somebody like somebody on the internet or whatnot explains it to you in a way that you feel more peace. But it looks like you will have some sort of assistance from a friendly male figure in your life who will tell you the innocent truth, that there's innocence here. And that you will be able to get out of this paradigm of right and wrong and come up with a new perspective, again, beyond illusion, to make a better decision. And there's something around this. It's like, but you are going to have some assistance in this frustration that you might be feeling. And I keep getting the one or two ways. It could be happening in your life, or you might be super frustrated about what's going on in the world. It has this kind of like looped energy. So I'm not sure if you were like really invested in what's going on, and that is really mirroring what's happening inside. It might make you feel really powerless, but it's also happening in your life. So it's like, it's either one. So I know that we do this for a lot of people. So you just got to feel into what way it's playing out in your life.
Yep. All right. So then we have the moon making its fullness. Let's see, what time is it happening? 9:23 p.m. on Saturday evening, or that's like 12:23 a.m. Eastern time, Sunday morning. And I gotta say, so this full moon, we've got the sun at 23 degrees in Libra. So the moon is at 23 degrees in Aries, hanging out with Uranus at 22 degrees in Aries. And these energies are squaring. So the Libra and the Aries energies are squaring Mars and Uranus, which are working and coming together in Capricorn. No Cancer, making this a grand cardinal cross, but we've got this major T-square, and that moon through the day of Saturday is going to be making all of these connections with Mars, Uranus, Pluto. It's intense. And I gotta say, I think that politics is gonna be a huge part of it. I've got the politics card. And
I do too. I do too. I think we're going to see some weird shit happening.
It could get weirder. Like, is the states like not weird enough at this point? Like, oh my God.
It's going to even get a little bit more intense. I'm telling you, on this full moon, something's going to maybe something else is going to come out with Donald Trump or Hillary. Something is really, mark our words. We're saying this on Monday, but something's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, politics. But you know what? Here's the thing. We're pissed. Okay, we're pissed. Hillary, people are saying I'm not viewing my political views because I'm on the neither campaign. People don't like Hillary. She's a liar. She needs to go to prison. People don't like Donald. He's an asshole. He's a misogynist. All the things. But we are fighting against each other. We're making this personal. But the thing is, where is the misogynist in you? Where is whatever you don't like about Hillary? Where is this in you? Where are you wearing these masks? They're representing us. I'm sorry, but the leaders may not completely represent who we are, but they do represent our country and who we are. And the fact that these people are there, whether or not you believe in how politics go, that we actually elect them and put them there, it's, a game, puppets, blah, 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 whatever you think, where is it mirroring you? Where is it showing you your masks? Because that's where the power is okay, whatever, they're doing their puppet show. Oh my God, what a puppet show. Where is this in me? Where am I playing these games? Where am I still, you know, me as a female, where am I a misogynist? Where am I being like, all I want is a man, you know, to do this thing? Where am I doing these things to myself? That's where the courage, that's where the strength, that's where your power, that's where your growth is coming. This Uranus energy wants to liberate. But first, it's going to piss you off. Uranus, 90% of the time, pisses you off before you liberate yourself. The truth will piss you off, but then it'll set you free. I've got the rebirth card in this. Rebirth and the courage. But you've got to, throwing cards, you've got to look at your masks. And you've got to be willing to let go of those masks. I also have the possibilities card. You know, I think sometimes it's really hard to look at our shadows. It's really hard to be like, I am Donald Trump. I don't like saying that. But oh my God, where is he in me? Because if this person is triggering you, if you're feeling their energy, and I've got to say, like, how many of us are feeling this energy of Donald Trump? And how many of us are like, I want to kick you. Like, I'm gonna grab your pussy. Like, we want to, like, fight. Let's build a wall and put you inside the wall. Whatever. You know, if you're feeling it, what is that in you? What's that possibility? And where can you have the courage to face it? Because Aries is the sign of courage, even beyond like the war and everything. It's like, okay, I'm ready to step up. I'm ready to stand in. I'm ready to work with this energy. And Uranus wants to liberate. That being said, I've got beautiful cards here. Through this, do your best to make healthy choices. Healthy choices for you. Thank you, angels, for guiding me to make healthy choices. These healthy choices may be about standing up to the Donald Trump within you. These healthy choices may be about standing up to the Donald Trump outside of you. These healthy choices may be walking away from the neighbor next door, Donald Trump. You know, there's so many different ways that this can be. What is your healthy choice? What makes you feel good? What makes you feel empowered?
Or just shutting off the friggin' news.
Right. I'm all for that. Every time I go out into the living room with my mom, I'm like, click. She's like, you do that just like you did when I was a child. I was like, I was a smart child going around and being like, we don't need this. I was still doing the same thing. But from the Keepers of the Light deck, I have Mother Mary, love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. I love this. Choose peace. Let go of the need to be right. Oh my God. I just found my Donald Trump mask. There it is. The need to be right. How many of us have that? It's like, bam, bring in some emerald. There it is. So before you are like, this is my healthy choice, maybe it's time to call on this higher mother feminine guidance within and be like, oh my God, am I playing that same game? And just see then where your choice leads you to be. And that being said, you know, like, it can be hard to tame the tempers of an Aries moon, especially connected with Uranus. So that may not be enough to stop you from raging holy war. However, you've got the advice, so do with it what you will. And all we're saying is give peace a chance.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. Remember how I said, I don't know what the shadow is? Well, I think the collective shadow that's coming on the planet right now, and we all contend to it because we all have it. Let's all raise our hand right now and go, I have this weird, insatiable feeling that I need to be right. We all have it. I don't care who you are. We all have this ego voice that loves to be heard and needs to be right. I'm right. My opinions are right. I know what's best for everybody, right? So the know-it-all, the inner know-it-all, the inner need to be right. And look at that shadow and see, you might know, right? Well, what are you going to do about it, right? Or maybe you don't know. Maybe the power lives in saying, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't have it all figured out. We all don't have it figured out. We don't have it figured out. And that's the truth. And being okay with not being right. My husband had a woman, a grandmother figure in his life when he was young, and she used to say, Would you rather be right, or would you rather be kind? And right now, there needs to be more kindness in the world. I've seen some weird Facebook status updates around this stuff. I even saw one that said something like, if you're in a relationship with somebody who's saying that what Donald Trump is doing is right, you should withhold sex from them forever until they agree with you. And I'm like, what the frack is going on, guys? Like, we're not going to manipulate our lovers to think what we want to do with sex. That's silly. Like, what? Stop being right. Because there is no right here. That's the sad truth of it. Because the deeper meaning for all of this happening is there's something inside of us that feels that something's wrong. This whole campaign, this whole thing, we're all going in and going, there's something wrong. We don't know exactly what it is, but in these times of discomfort comes revolution and evolution. And so we are all needing to wake up so change can start to come through. The system is kind of funky right now, and we shouldn't just have two. We shouldn't just have two candidates. We should have more. We should have more options. They should be on the media. We should be more respectful adults. We shouldn't be like 13-year-old kids on the podium screaming at each other about God knows what, not really talking about anything. Maybe it shouldn't even be one person who's the figurehead. Maybe we should get teams together. Teams of 4, participation. But I don't know. I'm not in politics at all, but I do know that this system, we've grown out of it. And so right now we're in this kind of weird thing, and the storm has to come through. Like the storm of change, the winds of change have to move through this. And right now it's being very blatantly obvious that this is a mess. And one thing we can all agree on, whether you pick a side or you don't even want to vote, is it's a mess. And when we all can agree when there's a mess, maybe, just maybe, we can band together and clean this up. And if you look through history, those are the big times where change happens. But we have to stand up for a change. And the discomfort is the only. You're not going to change if you're comfortable. You're only going to change when you're uncomfortable. And we're all, I think the collective is all really freaking uncomfortable right now. We're all uncomfortable. So let's change this. Hopefully new leaders will burst through this. So, or groups of leaders or communities of leaders, so we can inspire change. I don't know. I've never felt this way before, but I almost feel like somebody's going to come out of the woodwork. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I just got it. Like somebody is like going to come out. Maybe Bernie's going to like re-enter. I have no idea what's going to happen, but it feels like someone's brewing. Somebody's about to pop, and I think it's a male in a good way. I don't know. I could be completely off my freaking rocker. So for you, for the full moon, what I'm getting is so an old past. This is a past life card, but when it's reversed, it means something in your past from your childhood. So we can have past lives in this lifetime. Like if you think about yourself 10 years ago, you're probably not the same person you were. So a old entity of you or something that happened in this lifetime is going to come up to the surface to be reborn and let go. So there is a bit of a storm that was going to blow through for you personally after I got all that politics stuff. So there is going to be a little personal storm, but what it's trying to blow through is your self-doubt of your own gifted talents and your own knowledge. So there's something that has held you back. So it might be like a teacher or a parent or someone telling you to that shoved your voice down and shut you up or shut your fight down, and you felt insecure about that. Well, it's going to come up to the surface, and you're going to have to trust yourself. You're going to have to rebirth this. You're going to have to believe in yourself that you are gifted in whatever you're feeling like you're gifted in. And it's the truth. Like, I'm not getting like, this is like delusions of grandeur here. There's a truth that you are excellent and you have a certain amount of knowledge that needs to come out. Watch the Lego movie. I'm getting the picture of the end of the Lego movie where they do this message of like, you are the special and so am I. So we have to come out and we got to start being creative and really, you are the solution to the issues we're having, but you have to get out of the I am right stuff and come up with more solutions than just the act of being right. Let's not look at who's right and who's wrong. Let's look for solution, and let's look on how we can not just think like all liberals are wrong or right, or all conservatives are wrong or right. I think there's a mix of both that needs to come together to make this system more harmonious, because they both have points that are right and wrong. So it needs to come together more. But that's also in your own life, just so you know. So whatever knowledge you're coming in, it's more about solution than fighting. Where can we find the solution? And you have it in there.
Huh, somewhere.
It's in there somewhere. You just got to get over that whole being right thing.
That thing. Just that thing. Oh, well, so after that, we have the moon shifting into Taurus on Sunday morning. And I got to say, I've got the laziness card. I got the silence card. Silence card, not upside down. I've got the slowing down card. I've got the mind card in reverse. I think it's like, oh my God, now process. Get in your body, process, be present. I've got the no thingness card as well.
Oh my God.
Lots of possibilities in this energy, but you've got to get still. Like, Taurus energy, can be like, I want to do the things, or it can be like, I'm going to be a lazy cat. This reading to me is like your opportunity to be like, I'm going to be a lazy cat. I've got to process what just went on. I just got to process what's happening in the world. Who am I in all this? I like the special thing. Taurus tunes us into our worth. What's my worth? How am I being asked to show up? What's my talent? What am I being asked to bring forth now at this time to, bring this peace, harmony, unity, all those things. Permission to be quiet during this energy. I got from the angel prayers, I've got honor your beauty. Archangel Jophiel. Thank you, Jophiel, for helping me discover my inner and outer beauty. So this may be part of just like self-care, self-love, getting into the physical energy of things. Take a bath, relax, chill. It's those quiet times where the stuff comes through. And I really like this. I'm going to read it from I can never remember the names of these cards. The Keepers of the Light. I've got the Divine Director. I've never actually pulled this card before, and it's Intervention and Purpose. And it says divine intervention is taking place at this time. What is occurring in your life is providing a real learning curve for your soul. For all of our souls, welcome to this learning curve. You're becoming aware of a sense of purpose in your life. It gives you a sense of joy. It's something that brings you pleasure rather than something you have to work for. Know that your career can complement your purpose. So your talents can complement your purpose, but not define it. But the path you are on at this time is right, and the universe is encouraging you to move forwards. And I just think that this moving forward is the movement of quiet, the movement of tuning in. What are my gifts that I came to bring? I love all the things that are happening over there for you.
I'm like pulling cards. I'm like, what is this?
Running your fingers through your hair, and then you just went and like swept it all away. Like, it's like, wow.
I'm quite dramatic over here right now because I'm like, what is this?
It's very dramatic. I always like wish that like during the time off you could see some of these things going on, because it's always interesting. Anyways, this is saying like, get into that energy of Zorba the Buddha. Bring back that Zorba the Buddha energy and be like, all right, I'm on a spiritual mission on this physical planet at this time. What is my mission? I'm attuned. I'm tuning in. We've all got to step into this mission on another level to, keep raising this vibration. Everything's happening as it's meant to. Don't stress about what's happening. I'm going into what Nicole just said. What's the solution? What's my solution? How am I going to bring it? Get quiet so you can tune into those possibilities and get out of your mind. Your turn.
Yeah. So I just had like, I'm like arguing with my guides over here, like, what's going on? So I think something big's going to happen this week again, collectively. Last time that I said that, the whole race war thing with the police started happening. So I'm a little like, oh shit, what's going to happen? So the last card that Mimi picked was like, it's a divine intervention type of thing. And so whatever that is, we all just need to relax and just trust that it's happening for a reason. I don't know if it's necessarily negative. If it is negative, it might actually be Mother Earth doing something. So if it is something, it might, I have the intensity card and then I have the creativity card with Mother. Then I have this Earth, this love, and this birthing card. So I'm getting very much this, and I have participation card and inner wisdom. So it's like, it feels like a very big collective journey for us. So if something does happen, it might be a natural disaster. I hate to say that, that will make us come together in a different way. And I could be wrong, and you guys can just take this and throw it away, and I don't have to be right. But that's the energy that I'm getting. But I also believe that there is a massive amount of energy or knowledge and wisdom that is being poured on the planet at this very moment. And all that, what I'm getting is you need to be still. So if anything does happen this week, stay in stillness. Stay in stillness, not in the fear. Don't buy into the bullshit of that things are falling apart and it's Armageddon. It's not Armageddon. This is a time, so when light pours on the planet, and I said this earlier, I might have said it in my daily. When light pours on the planet, the darkness has to go somewhere. So it can look messy, but it doesn't mean that the whole world's falling apart. It means that there's more light, and a lot of people can't actually handle that light. But the more still you are, the more the knowledge can download in you, and you know, A, where to go, what to do, how to help, and what your particular purpose is. This might be a life purpose kick in the pants, because it might inspire something of you really going up and taking arms for the good fight. Not fighting for no reason, but really going in for the greater good for all involved. And if you're in that center, you can go out and, you know, be an activist in all of these different things, but you have to be centered. If you're just fighting for the sake of being angry, then you're just gonna beat your head against the wall like a bull, like Taurus energy. It's like, okay, Toro, I'm going for a red cape. Okay, great. What's the red cape doing? It's being pulled out from underneath you. But if you have a direct target and you're really being able to aim in the appropriate direction, then your force, that bull force, can really make a difference or shake things up. But you have to be centered. You have to be, because I have this intensity card and this inner voice card and this whole world being at love and peace together. The aliens are going to be coming on Friday, and it's going, no, I'm just kidding. But something is happening where it feels like a more united.
That's that intervention. You were like, there's a male figure. It's coming in. Aliens. We're not saying it's aliens, but aliens.
You're not saying it. I'm Giorgio now.
Right.
I'm looking at my hair. I'm not saying it's aliens. It's aliens. So Thursday, the resurrection of Christ is coming. No. But that's kind of the energy I'm getting, you guys. Like, I don't know what this freaking thing is, but I could be completely off my rocker. But that's the energy I'm getting. I'm getting something around being united and something about really kind of the rebirth of the mother. I don't know. What I'm going to watch this next week and it might make sense. But it's like, I'm getting a rebirth of the mother. Like the mother's putting her voice out there. So that's why I kind of said maybe natural disaster. I don't know. I give up. You guys win.
Wouldn't it be nice if like we could come together as one, as a people, without disasters, without war, without violence, without people dying? Like, it takes people dying to like open up our hearts, to like bring out the empathy. But what if it didn't take that?
Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, that's the reason why we have them, because the collective consciousness isn't mature enough to do it on its own. There's some of us that are, but there's like the collective. So what I've gotten through meditation is that our collective maturity level is of a 13-year-old boy. So we need something that is going to wake us up so we can actually work together. So the reason why a lot of these things happen, and these disasters or these things in a collective, in a neutral or an observer way, is because that's a wake-up call that people can start rising to the occasion. So if we could evolve our collective, that would be awesome. So we don't need to have this process, this so harsh black and white stark boom. We don't, most of us don't need, some of us don't need it. And a lot of people, you know, you guys watching this probably don't need that harsh of a wake-up call. However, a lot of people on this planet do. And so we just have to be patient, stay in our center, stay in our light, and keep bringing the light, keep going forth and finding your own wisdom in your own knowledge. And then you can bring that forth to teach other people to be in a higher state of consciousness. Just like what Albert Einstein said, we cannot fix the problem from the consciousness it was created. So the only way to really fix all the issues we're all having, personally or collectively, is we have to raise our consciousness so we have a different perspective and we're able to come together and start listening to each other. So it's not one my way or the highway, where we realize we all have a really amazing viewpoint that can be put in, and you are a piece of the puzzle, and we can try to birth. I have that birthing card. Birth a new earth, birth a new consciousness, birth a different part of humanity through the struggles we're going through. In Hinduism, we are in the Kali Yuga, and that's called the time of Kali. Kali is just destroying what no longer serves, and after that is a time of peace. But we have to go through this Kali time to realize that we don't want to do this like this anymore. We're kind of sick of this cycle. So things have to break down for things to be rebirthed.
Well, there we
That's
go. Just that for this week.
Like, I really feel like taking the cards and like, woof. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even like know anymore. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know what the heck's going on anymore.
The thing is, with this year that we've just had, we are prepared for this because we have been going through this all this year. This year has been chaotic astrologically, and people always ask me, is it going to get easier? And I'm like, they're cranking the heat up, and we need it. So we're gonna keep working. We got to keep evolving. We've got to keep looking at our darkness, shifting into the light, looking at our darkness, holding the light for others, looking at our darkness, loving our darkness, looking at other people's darkness, loving their darkness, because that's what's going to shift the things.
That's the only way to let go of darkness. It's not about fighting our demons. It's about looking at them and starting to evolve. It's about acceptance. It's not about fighting. It's about, once you accept it and forgive it, then you can heal it. It's not about fixing it. It's about healing it. And if we collectively all need to heal from all this suffering and all this oppression and all the shit that's been on this planet for so long, and the only way to do that is to continuously do the shadow work. And that's my opinion, because that's how I've seen it, and this is like my path. But honestly, the only way I've seen anybody be able to really heal is to look at the things that they don't want to see and love themselves through it. And then once they start loving themselves, they can look at other people. And even, you gotta love people through their shit. Because if they can't love themselves, who else is going to love them? You know, so you've got to love themselves so they are inspired to love themselves. If you can't love them, they're having a hard time, right? So, but first you got to love yourself. Even for the darkness, because it's the only way to mature darkness is if we look at it. And we then realize that all of our shadows are just little children, like they're like little kids running around smacking each other on the head. They're kind of, I mean, those inner demons, if you really look at them, they're actually kind of silly and ridiculous. We're just scared to look at them because we don't want to take ownership that we are all the things that we judge, all the things that you see that the misogynist, the arrogance, the and then the other way, the lying, the deceit, the
skeletons in the closet.
yeah, the trying too hard to be masculine, all of that, right? Where are you showing up? You got to look at that. Okay, sometimes I want to control things, like Hillary. She's trying to be masculine in a masculine world because she wants power. You know, nobody's perfect. So we have to look at those things and continue loving ourselves and others through them. This is getting long, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was important to be said because it's up this week. It's up right now, and it's, you know, and it's our work, you know, it's our work as, you know, beings who are working on our consciousness. You know, we've got to keep continuing working on this consciousness, and it's going to help others with their consciousness. Every shift that you make in yourself helps the world. It really does. So keep doing it. Don't give up.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. I mean, especially if you like really you're doing a good job. We just got to continue just holding more and more light and being more and more loving to ourselves and others. And like I keep saying, but you guys are doing a really good job. Just so you know, even if you're listening to this, you're doing a really good job. So.
Well, so you can book a reading with me if you want any help going through this week. I don't have any specials going right now, but you can always book a reading or just, you know, listen to yourself, listen to your higher self. You've got this. Do you have anything, Nikki?
Nope, I don't have anything. You can go on my website and book a reading too. It's NicoleOman, OMAN.com. I have some things in the works right now, but it's not ready yet. So I'll tell you when it is.
Well, then that's it for this week. So good luck, Godspeed.
Oh, yeah. And hold on. Like whatever's happening in this full moon, just hold on. I mean, it's definitely going to be okay. And I could be completely wrong. I don't want you to get into fear in what I said. It's not to be feared. Like Mimi said, it's highest and greatest good. It's divine intervention type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really think Jesus is going to descend. I'm going for that one. Or aliens. Or Jesus is an alien.
Jesus is an alien.
I'm going for Jesus comes back in a spaceship. And
yes, with David Bowie.
And he beams himself down and he's like, all right, guys.
Seriously.
Relax. Like, we're all relax. That's what I'm going for. That's what I think is going to happen.
I can hold that vision.
And if it does, I'm going to be really famous for making this video.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's it from us this week. Comedy reading. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week live with Jesus, David Bowie, Freddie Mercury. Who else can we bring down with him?
Michael Jackson. He's going to come back. He's hanging out.
Yeah, sure. Elvis. Like, why not? Like, let's bring back some major music mojo.
And then we're just going to dance for the next 3 weeks, and we'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
No.